saying that you were just strictly a witness. I personally don't believe that.
I didn't know what to do. I was so scared.
This is 18-year-old Britney Stewart, and right now she's pretending to be a witness to one of the most brutal murders these detectives have ever seen.
Someone kills someone right in front of me. How am I not supposed to be afraid?
But they aren't buying it.
Let me tell you something, Britney. I cannot tell you that you're not in trouble because you are.
I know I am in trouble.
Because Britney has absolutely no idea that her homeless, murderous group of goons has begun snitching on her, and very soon, the murder plot she's so desperately trying to hide will go up in flames.
Some of these other people have mentioned things that you did.
That I did?
Yes.
Actually, they upset Britney. She wanted his head.
I could not watch someone being killed.
It's September 5th, 2014, and El Paso police respond to an abandoned building on North Mesa Street, where electricians just mistook 21-year-old transient Gerardo Mexican Jerry Luna's body for a mannequin. When authorities arrive, they discover a disturbing message scrawled on the wall and downstairs, Jerry's body. It's estimated he's been there for 3 weeks and would have to be identified through DNA and dental records. As clothing and improvised weapons are collected, detectives gather information about their victim. Jerry was a known transient, and due to his extensive injuries, they believe more than one attacker was involved. But as they canvass the area for witnesses and surveillance footage, they get a major break. Cameras show Jerry entering the building with 4 fellow transients known to run in his circle: Britney Stewart, Jesus Barraza, Thomas McNair, and Jerry McGavitt. And while all 5 are seen entering, only 4 leave. Now armed with the knowledge of who Jerry was last seen with, the suspects are tracked down and taken into custody, where police want to know exactly what happened inside that building and how Jerry ended up dead.
This is related to the unfortunate death of a person. You are a suspect in the case, okay? And at this point, you are under arrest, okay?
Yes.
There was a warrant filed earlier today, and it is for failure to report a felony.
We did have a lot of vintage wine, Chardonnay wine, which a lot of them drank. I couldn't drink.
Okay.
I would not drink. Well, the day that it happened, I woke up with him standing over me. It was
Who was?
Mexican Jerry.
Okay.
It was frightening to me because my man was not there at all. They left and I was asleep, which we were staying there for a while. Mexican Jerry kept on hopping the fence and everything. Well, the day that happened, he had a toy gun, which I thought it was real because it looked real. It was actually what do you call it? Not a paintball gun, but a
Pellet gun? BB gun?
BB gun.
Okay.
And I thought it was loaded and everything. I was so scared. I stayed up on top of the stairs. They took him down to the basement. And then Jerry and Jesus started.
What is Jesus' full name?
I don't know his full name. So. Jerry held him down. Jerry had to let go because Jesus hit Jerry instead of Mexican Jerry.
How did he hit him?
And his eye opened with a mallet.
With what?
Rubber mallet.
Okay.
Which I didn't think that was going to do any harm.
Okay.
But all of a sudden they tied him up, put him to the bed. They grabbed a metal pipe, which I always, because I didn't know the place, I always carried a metal pipe. Well, they all had metal pipes. I did not get involved. I just stepped around the pillars wanting to throw up. I wanted to faint like that. Well, when they started, what you could hear was him screaming, begging for his
Mexican Jerry?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. I couldn't stop it at that time. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to get hurt.
It seems the life this group leads is a dangerous one, to say the least, and with seemingly everyone armed with makeshift weapons, it was only a matter of time before someone got hurt. But Britney puts the blame for Mexican Jerry's death squarely on the men and claims she was just an innocent bystander.
They said a lot of the spirits are angry at him, or they're drunk when they living, excuse my language, shit out of them. And then all of a sudden they started with the metal pipe. I could not stop it. I did not want to get hurt.
Now this is transferred over onto the mattress?
It was already on the mattress. They tied him up and started him with... I'm sorry, my stomach's...
Take your time.
I didn't know what to do, but I didn't. I did care. I cared a lot about Jerry, Mexican Jerry. He did some stuff that I don't approve of, but he was still like a friend. He still cared for everyone. I didn't know what to do. I just tagged along. I didn't know what was really going to happen. They said that the spirits told him to kill him. Well, when they got down there, they started, like I was saying, they started him with the bands that were already down there. They tied him against they were holding him. Jerry was holding what do you call it? They're like hikers. Hiker uses them. But they're ropes with hooks on the ends.
Okay, like bungee cords?
I don't know if they're called that or they're just like this.
Hooks on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he started holding that.
How was he doing that?
Like just with his hands around his and around the pole.
Which pole?
The mirror.
Okay.
What do you want to call
The pillar with mirrors on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I could not stand there. I could not.
What was he doing when you like around the pillar?
He was around the pillar, just well, that night we all left. Trust me, I wanted to go. I didn't know how to go to the cops and tell them, well, my friend just killed someone. My friend just killed a best friend. I didn't know how to do that because all they're saying is that, oh yeah, we know how to kill people and do that. That was my first ever seeing someone die like that.
When you left the building,
We left the building, we went to the tap.
what's the tap?
It's a bar. Well, we went to the tap. Thomas wanted to go burn. Thomas and Marcus went over there. Marcus didn't know anything about it until Jerry and McGavitt said something. Well, Marcus was interested and wanted to go over there. So they both started to burn, which I wasn't there for. I was still at the tap. Well, when we went back the next day, I smelled it.
The most gruesome details of Mexican Jerry's death are too graphic to share, but it proves one thing. This murder seems to have been very personal. So who were these friends of Britney's who killed him? And why'd they do everything they could to make him suffer first? As she's shown pictures of the men, her reactions give some not-so-subtle hints at her emotional meltdown to come. And if you love watching her melt into an embarrassing puddle, subscribe. That's literally all we do here.
Let me ask you this, okay? What we're gonna do right now is I want you to tell me who was there when all of this took place. And now, give me as much information of this person as you can. A description, whatever you can, okay?
Okay, yes, sir. Jesus was there. Thomas was there.
We're gonna show you a picture.
A lot of pictures, obviously you, okay?
I don't know if that's
Yes, that's Jesus.
okay.
Can you point to him? Okay.
Go ahead and circle the face, and then put the date and time. Like this.
And then if you can, just your signature. Thank you.
Okay.
That bottom person, who's that right there?
Me.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier it was 11. I thought I'm on El Paso time. Okay, so I just added an hour, so it's actually 10:34 here. 10:34 there. Okay, 10:30.
10:33 around there.
My phone hadn't switched earlier, so we just traveled in today. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, now let's talk about who the other person is.
Thomas. Thomas, I do not know his last name. He's short, Mexican. He goes to Mexico almost every day.
I'm going to show you a picture.
Yes. Yes.
Do the same thing.
Just circle his face.
Circle his face. So, who's there?
Jerry McGavitt.
You don't want to spell his last name?
No. I tried. Yeah. Sorry. I tried. Nothing is wrong.
Something.
September 3.
He said he didn't want that to do.
10:37. Who else is there?
When we left, I was there, but when we left, Marcus went there.
Okay.
Marcus Atkins.
Marcus Atkins. And who is this person to you?
He's my fiance.
He's your fiance? Okay. I'm going to show you a picture of
He is a teardrop. On his eye. Yeah.
Is that him?
Same thing.
Okay. Anybody else? Let's talk about Mexican Jerry.
You tell me 40.
It seems Britney's having a hard time looking at photos of the men she may have been involved in a murder with. But if that made her uncomfortable, she's really going to hate seeing one of Mexican Jerry, and being forced to talk about her now dead friend will be even worse. Because the supposed reasons for his murder continue to be nothing short of shocking.
You gotta go get a picture of someone we believe is Mexican Jerry.
Sorry.
It's a problem. Okay. Can I show you a picture? Who's next?
Jerry.
That's who?
There's Mexican Jerry.
And for the record, his name is Gerardo Luna.
Who?
Gerardo Luna.
He told me Jerry.
Jerry's Gerardo.
Oh.
Tell me again what Mexican Jerry's problem was.
They said that the spirits were getting mad at him because he was starting tagging the place with the writing on the wall, the pentagram on the floor.
Who's saying all this?
Thomas, everyone in the group.
To include Marcus?
No, Marcus, I didn't even know Marcus was part of the group. When I met Marcus, we're at Shy Downs.
Okay. So, obviously this group
said that they had a problem with him.
okay.
I didn't have a problem with him. Well, I didn't approve of me waking up with him right in front of me, like standing right over me. I do not approve of that, but he does what he does in his own life, like I do mine.
Who's with you when he?
No, I was asleep when they left. I was half asleep. I still knew they left. when I woke up, Jerry was standing there. I did not hear Jerry come in or anything because usually he would jump the fence or come around back.
Did Jerry leave with the group initially, or was Jerry part of the group? Mexican
Mexican Jerry was part of the group.
when they left.
When they left, no. But he used to be part of the group when I got there.
All right, so he's doing this to you, right up over you.
Right up over me. I didn't tell anyone. Like, I couldn't. And he does what he does in his own ways. No one should get mad at him what he does. But it kind of upset me because that's my personal boundary.
Aside from us, who else have you told about?
About the... No.
No one knew.
Except Marcus. Marcus knew about it.
So, at that day when this all takes place, when he's killed, they didn't know. So that's not the reason why.
No, they said the reason why is because his spirits were telling them to.
And you said Marcus was the one having this type of conversation.
Marcus?
I'm sorry.
Thomas.
Not Marcus.
Thomas, Jerry, and Jesus said they had demons in them. And they said that people died at the place. They were murdered. Well, I don't know if it's entirely true. But they said their spirits are there now. If you can feel genetic energy, apparently their spirits are. It was hot in the summer. It was hot. It was very hot.
Based on Britney's telling, most of her friend group seems to self-identify as demon-possessed. But since they're all now in custody, detectives can find out for themselves whether they should call a priest or call it a day. So first up is Jesus, who explains why Jerry died in far simpler terms than Britney.
Jerry Luna was the person that was killed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happened?
He was having confrontations with mostly people that would stay in that place.
Okay, people like who?
There's Britney Harden, Thomas McNair, Jerry, I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
No, it's Steve.
Stephen who? Okay.
And that's about it.
So,
To me, he was all cool with it.
okay. What happened?
So there was one morning that he would go until Jerry Luna would stay at the place no more. And he would go early in the mornings and wake everybody up. And so Britney would be like pissed off that he would do that. And Jesse like started talking, like having a confrontation. And then so Steven would be like, you know what? He would put a hit on Jerry Luna, and he wanted to put a hit on Britney.
What do you mean a hit?
Yeah, like he wanted them dead.
Because he would go in the morning?
Because he would basically, Jerry Luna is the one that tagged basically everything on the wall. And we already talked, supposedly they were talking to the owner, so that we would clean this place as long as we could stay. Then supposedly that's what they say that they did. And Steven had a real bad argument. He didn't want Jerry Luna to stay in there because he would smoke spice and he would start messing around the place.
Okay.
And there was one time that Jerry Luna wasn't around, and Steven was like, you know what, well, I'll pay you in small amounts if you guys take care of Jerry.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
Like to kill him. And
And Stephen is telling who?
it would to Jerry, the crazy Jerry, Thomas McNair, and myself, and Britney.
While Jesus claims a man named Steven put them up to killing Jerry, no such individual is ever located. But on the day the group decides to go through with it, it seems the plan came together fast. and with Britney taking on a far bigger role than she cares to admit.
Crazy Jerry would like, what? Oh, wake up and like, you know what? This is our time to do it, to kill him. I'm like, you know what? I was no. So I told him, you know what? If you guys are gonna do it, do it somewhere downstairs, or do it outside somewhere in the alley. And they went straight down. He went downstairs. Jerry Luna went downstairs, and Crazy Jerry, Thomas McNair, and Britney would soon follow. So they were carrying like sticks, tubes, and they were let Jerry Luna go up.
How did they get him to go down?
Jerry Luna was smoking spice that day. He would see things. So like he would see someone that would go downstairs.
So Jerry went on his own down.
Yeah, he went on his own at first, but he would go down and he would come back up. Then the second time he went straight all the way down, which I found it weird because he never did. Back up right there, and then so Crazy Jerry, Britney, and Thomas would follow. Would follow right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were arguing with Jerry Luna in the stairs, you need to they wanted him to go more deeper in the first floor. From there, they were like arguing. I talked to Jerry Luna and told him, you know what, just for your safety, just I'd rather for you to leave and don't come back at all. Not at all. Not even if you need me if you need borrow clothes, let me know at the library. He never did.
So you're telling this to Jerry Luna in front of these people that want to kill him?
Yes.
And what are they saying to you?
That supposedly they have to do it. I'm like, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm like, I'll be up here. I'll be there. Then they started arguing. Britney and Jerry Luna started arguing. Jerry would call her. By this time, Crazy Jerry and Britney were dating, and Crazy Jerry got real mad, pissed off that he called Britney. And he would grab him and he would just run straight in deeper in. And instead, Thomas McNair would grab one of the posts and would hit him on the ribs.
Jesus and Britney's stories are entirely different, yet strikingly similar in key ways. Because while both accounts end in the group murdering Jerry, both blame each other and paint themselves as mere innocent bystanders. But how'd the relationship between these unconventional roommates end in such a vicious murder? As Jesus explains, tensions between the two Jerrys were boiling for some time.
But prior to that, I think a week before that, Jerry Luna and Crazy Jerry were having a confrontation, which resulted with and they tried to open his wound back, and they would just hit him here.
And who? Luna.
Crazy Jerry?
Crazy Jerry.
Yes.
Who else?
That's himself.
And where did this happen?
In the second floor, on the main floor.
Detectives have Jesus and Britney's side of things, who both claim zero involvement in Mexican Jerry Luna's murder. But one thing both stories have in common is this: Crazy Jerry McGavitt had a main hand in the murder. So what will that Jerry have to say about all this? Detectives find out when they sit him down for an interview.
You said you read on the news what had happened.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm asking you to give me your side of the story about this case that we're investigating that happened. Tell me, Jerry. Tell me your side of the story. And when did it occur? Like I said, to us, it was reported on September the 5th, 2014.
I don't know exactly what day it happened.
No, I'm just giving you the date that we reported it.
Okay, I thought you were asking me what day it happened.
No.
I was about to say, I can't remember that one. But no, it was an afternoon that me, Thomas, Jesus, and Britney all went to the abandoned building is it $1 Plus?
I believe so, yes.
What is called $1 Plus? Okay, that way it's on. I have it in there.
Yeah.
We went to $1 Plus, and this other guy by the name of Jerry, I don't know his last name, he came in from the roadside, and Thomas and Jesus didn't like him from the beginning. They've never liked him. They've always had problems, as what they've told me. And so what happened was they ended up getting into fighting and everything, and we went down to the basement where Jesus wanted me to hold on to Jerry for him as he hit him with the rubber mallet, which I ended up getting hit with the rubber mallet at the same time, which then I released Jerry and went upstairs and found one of my shirts to stop the bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And they went for several hours with metal poles. I'm trying to think of what to call it.
Yeah.
The metal pipes. And they went from one side of the room to the other with the metal pipes. And then they got him to, how can I say it? They got him to agree to let them tie his hands and his feet.
Okay.
Bound his hands and feet. I tied his hands and feet for Jesus. Thomas held the bungee cords around his neck as they kept on beating him. And I went upstairs as my girlfriend followed me, waiting on them. And then we left and went and sat in front of the tap. As we were sitting in front of the tap, Thomas, Jesus, and Marcus showed up at the time, went back to the building to burn the body.
While Crazy Jerry admits to helping tie Mexican Jerry up, he says it was Thomas and Jesus who actually carried out the brutal violence. But he also refers to Britney as his girlfriend, even though she claimed to be with Marcus during her interview. So what does Marcus have to say about all this? And with each member of this crew telling different tales, how will detectives ever get to the truth?
Let's talk about the people that were there that day that we're going to talk about.
Okay. The two that was around me at the time, it was Thomas and Jesus.
Okay.
And Thomas just comes up to me, looks at me, and goes, do you remember Mexican Jerry? I said, yes. He said, he's dead. And I just gave him a look like, meaning, I thought he was, playing, but I thought he was literally joking, but, he had the serious look like, I'm not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know how some people are, they joke around, but to make it seem authentic, they throw on the serious face. So I was like, okay. I was like, where's he at? And they said, he's at the spot in the basement. Well, that's what they referred to the building as, the spot.
The spot?
The spot. And I looked at Thomas and I told Thomas, I was like, look, just so I thought he wasn't playing. I was like, all right, show me.
Okay.
We went to the building, we went to the basement, they showed me the body.
Despite his friends claiming he was at the spot at the time of Jerry's murder, Marcus claims he was nowhere near it, even though he does admit to helping. But while the details of Jerry's death are somewhat consistent throughout the group, it's only Britney who brings up evil spirits and demons. So as we go back to her, she fills us in on even more details. But how much of it can detectives really believe?
Today is September 9th.
Yes, sir.
How long ago did this take place?
It was 3 weeks before I left.
So you left on August 1st, is that correct?
Yes.
On September 1st.
September 1st.
Labor Day.
Yes.
September 1st, which was a Monday, 2014. 3 weeks prior?
Yes.
Okay. You don't know the date?
No. I got there 2 months ago.
Okay. Do you know what day it was?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Okay. All right. So, Mexican Jerry standing up over you.
Yes.
You obviously did not.
I obviously got up. I scooted away from him and got up.
Okay. How much?
Well, they said he was drunk already. Really, I didn't smell no booze on him. Even though they said he was. I didn't smell it. I smelled a lot of it on them. I just didn't smell it on him.
Okay. Where is Jesus? Where is Jerry?
They came in all together.
The three.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, where is Mexican Jerry? Is he still next to you, or where's?
No, he's across by the upstairs.
Okay.
By the door.
So he's there, and then what led to them starting?
They said that the spirits were getting mad that they were not finishing their job to kill him.
Okay.
Well, they led him down into the basement. I didn't know what to do but follow because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Explain leg.
Well, they said for him to go in the basement, which he did, but he had the gun in his hand, pointed at us. I was just like, oh gosh, I'm going to die. That was my direct thought through my head. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die.
You knew it was a BB gun?
No, I didn't know it was BB gun until they broke it. They took it from him and broke it when we were at the bottom of the stairs.
All right. You mentioned earlier that Jesus at one point
was hitting him with a mallet. Yes, that was the beginning of the whole thing.
And then he strikes.
He struck Jerry. Jerry McGavitt. Jerry McGavitt. That's why he has a scar over the side.
What was Jerry McGavitt doing?
Holding him down.
Okay.
Like in a, I don't know if you call it military, with his arm around his neck.
And what is Thomas doing?
Thomas was just sitting there laughing. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to run upstairs and leave.
Okay. And
But it's my fault for not. I cannot bear to see or look at him. I cannot bear even to look at the people that did it. So when we all left, they said, why wouldn't I look at him? There's a reason why I wouldn't look at him. I cannot bear to see it. How angry they were and how drunk they were.
after you're done, or after they're done,
They covered him up.
cover him up. And then after all of that takes place,
We all left.
you all go to a bar.
We all go to the tap.
Okay.
I sat down because I didn't know what to do. I could not. I wanted to think. I wanted to throw up. I did not know what to do. I wanted to run. I couldn't.
This entire time, Marcus is not present.
Marcus was not present, no.
Are
When we
you?
got to the tap, Marcus showed up. Well, Jerry McGavitt told him about Mexican Jerry, what they did to him. Marcus got excited. I don't know why he got excited, but he got excited.
What's exciting?
Like happy, like a big grin on his face. He wanted to go see the body. Thomas was going to go back and grab our stuff. Well, what they failed to do was grab mine. My stuff apparently was there. Well, they grabbed their stuff and everything. They grabbed one thing and mine was my blanket. So they grabbed their stuff and everything, and I thought I smelled already burning stuff, but that was coming from next door because they were cleaning the floors. Well, they said they burnt the body. We went back. I did not go downstairs. I could not. I don't know if I could have handled that. Well, I couldn't even handle smelling it.
As Marcus enters Britney's story, their versions seem to mostly match up. But Marcus failed to mention how excited he was at the prospect of seeing Mexican Jerry's body and participating in destroying it. And now Britney has to answer for another inconvenient fact: why her fingerprints were found on the glass used to stab Jerry.
Let's go back to the part where Mexican Jerry is getting stabbed. Okay, you describe that it's with like a glass, a piece of
It's
glass.
with glass in his.
You understand that we obviously may have found pieces of glass in that area.
Yes.
Maybe with blood, maybe without blood. And you understand that fingerprints.
Yes, my fingerprints are on some of the glass.
Why?
Because I that day before it ever happened, I have bipolar ADHD and ADD. I get to those moods where I just want to cut. I picked up a piece of glass, wanting to kill myself. Then I thought it through and decided not to, so I set the glass down.
Earlier you mentioned that the glass was not there.
The glass is already broken, yes.
Yes, but you said earlier that the glass was not there.
You didn't know who broke it.
I don't know who broke it.
But you said the glass was not there.
It was not broken, no.
When all of this is taking place.
No, it was broken.
Okay, so now it was.
2 days before, it was not broken.
But now it is.
Yes.
Okay.
It was broken a day after. I don't know who broke it. It was not me. I knew that. We were trying to get in a safe. All I knew, we were trying to get in a safe that was down there.
Is it possible that you were trying to get in the safe because maybe you thought of putting the...
No, I never thought of that.
How about someone else?
Thomas thought of it, yes. But Thomas thought there was another in there or there was cash.
So when you say we were trying to open the safe, that means you were physically involved in trying to...
I was not physically involved. I was sitting there, yes.
Does the safe have your fingerprints on it?
The safe might.
Why would it?
I would be touching it.
Why?
There's a bathroom down there. We go down there and use the bathroom. Sometimes the lights are out.
So to go to the bathroom, you have to
Feel stuff when the lights are out.
Is the safe in the path toward the bathroom?
Yes.
It's in the direct path of the bathroom?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Would there be a reason for your fingerprints or someone else's fingerprints to be on the same piece of glass?
Being on the same piece of glass?
Like maybe you handing it over to somebody?
I don't remember handing any glass over to
You don't remember? Is it possible?
It is not possible because I would not hand someone over.
So if you don't remember, how is it not possible?
Do what?
If you don't remember, how is it not possible?
It's not possible, not unless they picked up the same glass. Yes, I touched many of glass down there.
Okay.
Because I went down there when they told me to go see the mattress.
Let me back up just a little bit. You just finished saying you would not hand a piece of glass to someone to kill someone. They never said that.
I would never.
But we never asked you that.
They also said the same glass was.
What?
My fingerprints were on it.
The same glass as what?
Thomas's. That's not mine.
But we didn't
I
say
couldn't know
that.
how to do that.
We didn't say that. The same glass.
I'm sorry if I interpreted that.
Okay. We just asked you if someone else's fingerprints would be on the same glass that yours would be. We didn't say anything about Thomas, and we didn't say anything about you handing the glass to somebody to kill someone. We didn't say that. Why would you say that?
Because I have the feeling that you're interpreting it.
No, we're just asking you very general questions. Very general.
I'm sorry that I'm a little tired.
While exhaustion may play into the gaps in Britney's story, it doesn't explain all of them. And she's about to find out some bad news about her friends, because now that they're all in custody, they've been sharing their stories as well. And in their versions, Britney isn't as much of an innocent bystander as she makes herself out to be.
Well, here's a good thing. Can I call you Britt?
Yes, that is my name.
I can call you by your last name. I don't want to disrespect you, okay? Because the problem that we have is that you need to understand something. The reason why you have not been able to communicate with Marcus is because he's under arrest, okay? He's been locked up. We've also been able to talk to all the other people involved, okay? And they've all been able to provide us with specific details as to what took place, okay? First of all, I appreciate you talking to us.
Yes, sir.
We've traveled a long ways to come out here, and we just need answers. to what we're looking into. But we don't need for you to self-serve yourself by saying that you were just strictly a witness. Because I can tell you that I personally don't believe that, okay? You may not have physically attacked a person, but just simply by standing there as a casual observer when there's a cold-blooded murder happening in front of you and not doing anything day 1, day 2, day 3, and I can go on and on and on because this happened 3 weeks ago, right? Almost 4 weeks now. And not once have you reached out. You were earlier at the Salvation Army?
Yes.
There's plenty of people there that could have helped you. Plenty of people there that you could have solicited help from. But not once did you say that. You've been crossing your words here a little bit here and there, kind of jumping all over the place, basically just covering yourself. Let me tell you something, Britney. I cannot tell you that you're not in trouble because you are.
I know I am in trouble. Because I was there.
Someone died. Someone was killed in a very brutal fashion. Okay? These are the people that we're talking to, that we've talked to, have told us about what took place, have told us that you weren't necessarily just a sudden witness to this.
That I was part of it? I was not part of it at all.
Remember what I told you. A person that witnesses something is a person that comes across something that is unexpected. A person that is working and then suddenly something happens in front of them. That's what we consider to a certain extent a witness. But when you're present,
You're not a witness.
and things are happening in front of you.
I should have ran out of the building.
I don't know what you should have done, but I know that you did not run out of the building. And the reason why we bring up the glass and some of the other things that we've been talking to you about is because some of these other people have mentioned things that you did.
That I did?
Yes, that you did when you were present and you were physically there. Now, I can easily say someone mentioned that you handed glass over, and of course you're going to deny it because that would implicate you further.
Yes, it does.
But if you care for Mexican Jerry,
I did care about Mexican Jerry. I still do care about Mexican Jerry.
and you know that you guys screwed up, today is the day to come clean and say, look, it was all a big mistake. We f***ed up. It was a mess
I
up.
did. I should have never went to El Paso. I should have never gotten involved.
That's beyond it. You were there. You can't change that.
I know I can't.
Let's just make what happened that night right. Okay? That's all we want from Mexican Jerry. Make it right.
How am I going to make it right if I can't wear your back?
No, for yourself. Make it right for yourself. By declining to say a couple of things that you haven't said today, you're not making it right.
If I
Make it right for yourself so that you won't have this on your mind, because if you don't, it's going to be in your mind for a long time.
I know, it's been on my mind
And that's
since
why
I
we're here.
left.
That's why we're here, to help you get rid of all those thoughts, to tell us. There's a couple of things you're not saying. And you have to say because it's going to be on your mind forever.
There's a lot of going on in my mind.
Well, we just want to know about that day. If you want to talk about other stuff, we can talk about that afterwards. But right now, in this interview, we just want to know about what happened in Mexican Jerry that day, and what you took part in, what you haven't said yet. I promise you it'll make you feel better.
If I had anything to do with killing him, I would have directly said it. I would directly said, yeah. No, I never did. I never physically touched him because I couldn't. I couldn't bear to see it. I couldn't bear to know that he was going to die. Then he was right in front of me.
But you know what's not good is that you were able to bear not saying anything about it.
What was I supposed to
For
do?
a month.
They killed a person in front of me.
I'm sure in the last 4 weeks, you've seen a policeman or two somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen policemen.
I know you know how to use 911. You know how to use the internet.
Yes, I know how to do that. But when someone kills someone right in front of me, how am I I'm not supposed to be afraid.
No one's saying Britney shouldn't have been afraid. What detectives are saying is this: she knew a heinous murder had taken place and did absolutely nothing to make it right. In the eyes of the law, that's called being an accomplice, and no amount of excuses she comes up with will ever change that. But as she keeps talking, and the more she reveals, the guiltier she looks.
There's a couple of things you may have not said, and that's what we're looking for. That's all.
Yes, I've been down there. Yes, I was there when he got killed. I couldn't bear it. And yes, they told me to hold the rubber, the thing around his neck, but I couldn't. I couldn't
What
do that.
did they say?
They told me to hand him a glass.
Okay.
I handed him the glass. I didn't know what they were going to do with it.
What kind of glass was this?
Some beer. I went by him the beer. I couldn't stand watching it.
Was he specific what he was going to do with the glass?
No.
Did you have an idea?
No. I didn't know what he was going to do. I thought he was going to cut the ropes.
You assumed that he was going to cut the rope?
I thought he was going to cut the ropes. He had a sad face.
Okay.
I went behind the mirror. I couldn't bear to watch it. I wanted to faint. I wanted to throw up. I could not watch someone being killed. That helped me.
While Britney claims Mexican Jerry helped her during her time of need, it seems like for him, no good deed went unpunished. And the punishment Jerry Luna faced at the hands of his so-called friends was about as bad as anyone could face. Each of the individuals involved in the case were charged with capital murder, as well as additional crimes. All were found guilty. Thomas McNair received a sentence of 99 years for murder and an additional 20 years for tampering with evidence. Jerry McGavitt was sentenced to 60 years. Both Jesus Barraza and Marcus Atkins were sentenced to life in prison without parole. And for Britney Stewart's part in Jerry's brutal murder, she was given 25 years in prison. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.